time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys. HBT with Straight Up Wrestling Show. Coming to you live, guys. Coming to you live. Man, I'm going to talk about a few things, and then, hey, hopefully I get off here, man. But I am going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about, hey, I finally watched it, guys. I finally watched it, and that is that Backlash pay-per-view. I finally did check that thing out, so I will be talking about that. I will talk about, and then I'm going to talk about WWE and what I would do if I was pretty much in charge, if I was one of the guys that was making decisions, what I would do as far as in WWE. Wrestling, I think, needs a reset. I really do, because it's not going good, guys. And that's just a fact, man. That's just a fact. And I'm going by the ratings, all the ratings that I see and everything like that. So that's what I'm going by, not just going by what it's not that I'm perceiving that this thing is not doing good. It isn't. It isn't. If you look at the ratings, it definitely isn't. This past Monday Night Raw, last Monday Night Raw, they did 2.8 million worldwide, guys. 6.1 million or something like that. 6.4 million, I think, when they opened up on Netflix. What's going on, Ray Underwood? Ray Underwood says, hello, Harry. What's up, my man? They opened up. They did over 6 million views worldwide. Now it's down to 2.8. Worldwide, and they did 1.2 million domestically. So in the United States, only 1.2 million people. They're down to 1.2 million people watching Raw, guys. That's not good. And like I said, look, just 3.5, almost 4 years ago, when we started Straight Up Wrestling Show, Raw used to they used to garner 1.9 million. They was doing 1.8 to 1.9 million every week. 4 years ago, 2021, they was doing like almost 2 million a week on USA, and SmackDown was doing between 2.4 and 2.6 million. Now SmackDown is doing a 1.4, 1.3. That is horrible, guys. They're losing a lot of viewers. Wrestling, something needs to be done about this. And the reason they continue to make the same type of money, because they continue to pass the buck off to the consumers. They continue to pass the spending off to the consumers. Everything is getting more expensive. The tickets are getting more expensive as they're not selling as many seats. They are passing the buck off to the consumers. There's no ends, ands, buts about it, guys. I mean, hey, the proof is in the pudding, man. It really is. So, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I think and what I would do if I was WWE to pretty much try to get this thing back on track, guys, because if you ask me, it just basically, it's going downhill. Is the WWE in a few years are going to continue to be making money? I'm talking about 3 years from now. Yes, but in my opinion, the WWE will be where AEW was when AEW had Punk. If they continue to go down this road, I see a lot of people losing their jobs. I see a lot of different things. A lot of different things developing. I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of fans, even these hardcore fans, are backing off. These hardcore fans that don't have anything better to do except for wrestling are backing off because they're getting tired of the bull, man. They're getting tired of just being fed anything, straight up. So, Ray, I'll get to your comments in just a moment here. But let me get this thing here on my iPad and see how everything is looking good. Everything is good. All right, my man Ray says, I think it's because people were expecting more since it's on Netflix. Yes, sir. But instead, it's like watching Raw on USA Network. Yes. And to a point, it's even worse, man. It's even worse. Vince Russo, this first time, Vince Russo said something this week, or was it earlier this week? First time I don't agree with him, basically almost on anything. I mean, I hardly ever will agree with Vince Russo on anything. But Vince Russo said that the WWE is lost without Vince McMahon, without the leadership of Vince McMahon. And hey, man, it is hard to argue that. It really is. It's hard to argue against that, Ray. I mean, it's crazy, man. It is crazy what we're seeing right now. But man, I'm gonna send out a couple things here. I want to see if I can get a couple people on here, Ray. Man, yeah, because I do want to talk about the pay-per-view that I just watched, because like I say, I finally watched it. I watched that Backlash pay-per-view, and so I definitely have to talk about what I thought about it. And man, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't as bad as a lot of people put it out to be. Let's just put it that way. I'm not gonna travel that road. I'm definitely not gonna travel. I'm gonna sit here and say that it was great. I'm no ins and buts about it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was a great show, but overall, it was not bad, man. It really wasn't. But it was not a barn burner. It was not something that you can really build off of. Now, I did see where they was going. I saw some of the things that they was doing, and yes, one thing I will give them, they stuck to a theme, and they kind of like stuck with what's going on TV. So the storyline was there. It's just that it wasn't really no emotion to these storylines or to these matches. Wasn't anything that really got your blood pumping, to tell you the truth, in my opinion. So man, yeah, they definitely they got to come up. They got to come up with something. They got to give us something a little bit different. They really do. I mean, I'm looking for a little bit more than what they are willing to give us, guys. I really am. So, man, let me go ahead and talk about that. I'm going to talk about that Backlash, and I know it happened 5 days ago, but 5-6 days ago. But I'm definitely going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about Backlash, and I'm going to talk about what I would do with the WWE. Now, they say the best things going on AEW right now. I did not watch Dynamite. Planned on doing it, man, last night. Upset that I didn't get to do it. I did plan on doing it tonight, but I think I'm going to spend some time with my wife. But I will watch that. I have stayed up the last 2 nights. I've been, I ran a third shift and pretty much I've just been watching wrestling. So I'm going to get to that Dynamite, guys. And they say Collision is doing better than Dynamite right now. They got great storylines. So I'm going to go ahead and check that out. Right now, people are saying the Hurt Syndicate with MJF is the best thing going on in wrestling. So I am going to check that out. I do remember when that started, but me and Chris have not been able to really watch that. But I do want to check out what is going on in that feud, man. And I think it could be something great or something really special can develop from that. But right now, from what I'm feeling, especially after doing SmackDown, Raw, and then watching this, watching Backlash, man, I'm like, wow, I want that old school back. Now, Christopher Burton and myself, well, Chris will be at work. I will be having a showdown in Eastern Nolly, Georgia, an independent show. A lot of different things came up in my mind, man. I really some things got in my mind that really, fresh thoughts. Let's just put it that way. But right now, man, in my opinion, this is the best time for a wrestling company. If somebody got some money, I'm talking about some people, some real investors want to come and get into the wrestling business right now, and you got people that know what they're doing, this is the best time to get into wrestling. It really is. It really is. It doesn't matter that the WWE is saturating everything, and you have AEW out here, and you have TNA, and you got New Japan, and you got MLW. I mean, these are all small players compared to the WWE. All I can say is right now is the best time to step your foot into the business, because in my opinion, you can come and wreck. Now, I can't really badmouth AEW because I haven't been watching it, for the past 5-6 weeks. I haven't really, and when I was watching it, within the past few months, it's only a few times within the past few months that I have actually seen it. So I really can't get on here and just dog them out. I just know by the numbers and what I'm hearing from what people are saying. I can get a gauge, and all I do is go in there and watch it one time. I can get a gauge of where they're at. But right now, if you step into the business, and I'm not talking about that thing that Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan is doing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who wants to come in. People that want to come in and run a real legitimate wrestling business. Now, I know there might be some knucklehead or whatever that's coming across this page and might see me say something about a legitimate wrestling business. What are you talking about, man? All that stuff is made up or whatever. Hey, all that stuff is predetermined. Hey, when I say legitimate wrestling business, I'm talking about the way wrestling was, for years. I mean, the way professional wrestling has been ran since the 1940s, guys. And to this time now, it has been, basically pure wrestling, guys, even though, like I say, it's predetermined and everything like that. It's been basically pure wrestling. I'm talking about, the arm bars. I'm talking about the drop kicks. I'm talking about the power bombs. I'm talking about the power slams. I'm talking about, hey, the full Nelsons. I'm talking about the sleeper holds. I'm talking about the figure 4 leg lock. I'm talking about the Indian death lock. I'm talking about all kind of different things, man. Full Nelsons, abdominal stretches, whatever you want to talk about. That's what I'm talking about. Unless somebody come in and run wrestling the way wrestling is, it's not going to work. You can bring this freestyle in here all you want to, Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. That is not what the wrestling public wants. And when it boils down to it, you will get some wrestling fans that will watch it, that will check it out, especially people who are fans of Hulk Hogan or fans of you. They will check that thing out. Maybe fans of the guy who's coming in, who's doing this, the MMA guy. I don't know. You will get a fan base, but will you get a big enough fan base to offset what's going on in wrestling? I do not think so. Not at all. You have to build a wrestling fan base. That's all. You have to build a fan base. Straight up. You have to bring something like, you have to bring a MMA fan base or something. You have to build your own fan base. And with the track record of you and Hulk Hogan, of the things that you guys have did as far as when you have been put in charge, guys, I don't trust that at all. No ins, ands, or buts about it. But, hey, I'm going to give you a chance. And if you have it on TV, if it comes on TV, I will check it out. I'll check out the first 2 or 3 just to see how you guys are doing, to see what you guys are doing. But do I think it's going to come and replace wrestling? No, wrestling will continue to falter the way it is until somebody come in and pretty much shove life into this business, man, into the sport. And yes, in my opinion, it's always been a sport. That's the way I've always looked at it. It's a sport, but somebody has to come in here and run this thing right. And all I got to say is, if somebody decide that, hey, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do it right, this thing will blow up, man. It will blow up big time. You have to build characters. You have to build stars. And that wrestling is lacking. They are lacking storylines, characters, stars, guys. And the WWE, from what I'm saying, I don't really believe they want to build a star. They want everybody to be kind of like on the same level, but you have a few guys that, they can center everything around, man. But I think Triple H, when it boils down to it, Triple H want to be the star and have the whole company around him as the star. You got to have somebody leading this thing, guys. You got to have somebody driving this thing. And Triple H want to be the driver. And, man, no, that's all I got to say. Triple H needs to step back and let somebody else come in here and pretty much run this thing, man. And when I'm talking about running, I'm just basically talking about he need a wrestler who's pretty much who's going to carry the load. They had that in Cody Rhodes, but the thing is this: you can build Cody Rhodes up, which they built him up spectacularly, in a spectacular fashion, I believe. But Cody Rhodes, the thing is, they did not put Cody Rhodes in the position to be this mega superstar. He's a superstar, but to be a mega superstar, I'm talking about a mega superstar that's unbeatable with the title, a mega superstar in the vein of a Ric Flair, a Jack Briscoe, Harley Race. And yes, I'm naming NWA champions because they was the best in my opinion. I'll go ahead and throw a couple AWA names in there. Vern Gagne, Nick Bockwinkel, those type of champions. Bob Backlund, from the WWE, with the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino from the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, or the WWF. And you got to throw Hulk Hogan in there. But I'm talking about those type of world champions. Cody Rhodes could have been that type of world champion. And yes, you guys do have, the WWF have the roster to pretty much put him on that pedestal, man, to put him in that plate, to pretty much put him as that main course, man, that steak. I'm talking about that top choice steak. You had a chance to do that. But guys, like I say, you dropped the ball. Cody Rhodes could be something special. Now, man, you have John Cena with the belt, and he's got the belt turned backwards. So, hey, what are we having, guys? What are we having? Roman Reigns was your last champion, and in my opinion, legit world champion, great world champion, but he only worked a certain amount of days. Straight up. All right, my man. Raymond Underwood says reality era, golden era. Yes. We had the attitude era, then the ruthless aggression era, then and then new generation era, PG era. Yes, sir. Yeah, reality era, golden era. But yeah, the golden era, hey, we need to go back, man. They need to go back to the 80s. To me, that was the best time, man. Between 84 to 88 was the golden years, was the best. I mean, outstanding. And you had some great years in the 70s too. But man, there's a lot of great things that they can do today to pretty much get this thing over and make it something just spectacular. But I don't think it's either they don't know how to do it or Triple H, like I say, Triple H wants to be the center of attention. He wants to be the man. And he's not gonna let a great wrestling era change that. He's not gonna let a great wrestling era get in the way of that. It's kind of funny. I hate to say it. I really do. Hold on for a second, guys. Chaz, come here. Talking to my son. There you go. All right, but yeah, it looked like he refused to do it. He's not going to do it. He's not going to let it happen, guys. All right, let's see. Raymond, my man Ray says, I agree. Appreciate that, Ray. But let's move on, man. Let's move on, and let me see if I can go over and talk to you guys about this backlash long ago. I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna go through that a little bit. I'm not gonna read as far as what I will tell you what Bleacher Report gave these matches, but I'm not gonna read it. Usually I would read it, but yeah, I'm just gonna pretty much go through these things a little fast, and then I'm gonna give you my take on what I think the WWE needs to do to make this thing work, man. And I really do think this will work. I talked to Christopher Burton about it a little bit earlier, and he agreed with it. He thought it was a great plan. But this is what I would do. I will tell you guys in just a little bit. All right, man. The first match, we had Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest. Now, these 3-way, 4-ways, man, basically I'm tired of it. Now, let me go ahead and tell you exactly what I think about each competitor. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go by the way they have it listed here. Jacob Fatu, definitely. Jacob Fatu, the WWE is touting him as the star, guys. No ands, ands, or buts about it. My man Magnum has joined. What's up, Mag? Mag, I'm glad to see you, brother. Glad to see you. All right, give me just a second here. Yeah, Backlash was actually pretty good, Harry. It was okay, Mag. It was okay. The first half was good. Okay. Second half, I'm talking about the first 3 matches, I think was good. No, the first 2 matches were really good. First 2 matches, but we'll get into that, man. Hey, I thought it was decent. And if I would have watched it live, maybe I'll be thinking something different, because for some reason you go back and you watch these things, you rewatch them. It seemed like something is taken away from it. I don't know what it is. It seemed maybe the crowd is not roaring as hard or whatever, but it seemed like a drastic part has been taken away. So maybe that's it. But then again, is what, would I be letting myself be pushed by the crowd noise, or am I letting it be realistic? Like, say if you turned it off and you just watch the matches, and I'm judging the matches more than I'm judging the crowd reaction. It's kind of like Christopher Burton and myself, we go to a couple shows here. I'm not going to name the companies, but there's a couple companies here. They do all the independent shows in these bars. They do them in bars and, breweries and things. They do them. That's where they do their shows. And the people that, they drinking and having a good time. And the place is packed out. People go to these places during the weekend, to have fun, to mingle and talk to people and, hang out. So yeah, these places draw anywhere from 200, 400 people be in these places eating at a certain time, eating and drinking. And especially there's certain breweries that we go to, and that's all they're doing is drinking, you know, eating some snacks here and there. So you have a bunch of patrons that's feeling pretty good in there. You know, hey, they drinking things that make them feel pretty darn good. So, and they're cheering everything, man. They wrestlers are throwing doors. I mean, they bringing doors in the ring. People getting thrown through doors. They rolling out the tacks. They doing everything. But the fans in those bars are cheering and screaming and hollering and yelling about everything. Everything is the greatest thing they ever seen. And then you have these promoters who promote these shows, think they're the best thing since sliced bread, man. And you're one of them, the guy from North Carolina, a guy that I know, that me and Chris know. He's up there bragging, talking about, you know, I went from 50 people to drawing 200, 250 people. He said, I must be doing something right. And he's telling everybody that there's a bunch of people that's watching wrestling right now that's not wrestling fans, that we got a lot of people out here watching wrestling that's not wrestling fans. That's because he's going to all these breweries, man. He got these deals with these breweries and these some of these restaurants, like barbecue restaurants and things, and they serve alcohol, and he going in there and the place is packed out. It's packed out, and he's thinking that it's in Charlotte, man, and the dude is thinking that that he going in and because 200, 250 people they're there to see his show. I must be doing something right. He's basically bragging out here, guys. They ain't there because of wrestling. Wrestling is an offering. It's an entertainment. It's just like somebody there, man, with an acoustic guitar just up there singing away. Could be singing some Goldie oldies. But this guy is up there, man, and he's entertaining the crowd. Now, if you get somebody that's very dynamic, an old school group, they're playing a lot of oldies, say playing Kool in the Gang. They playing Prince. They playing Blondie. You know, they are playing... You know, they playing Queen. You know, they might be playing, goodness sake, man, a lot of different people out there, you know. They could be playing Rick James, Stone Cold City Band, you know, all kind of things that they could be doing. Now, I've been in bars with bands playing, you know, all kind of music from great artists. And people just all into it because they sounded exactly like them and they added their own little kick to it, man, and it was just great. But that doesn't mean if these guys start doing their originals that they're going to be great. They're going to be outstanding. So, I mean, I just don't know. I don't understand that logic when it boils down to it. But Mag, man, I'm gonna pretty much go through this a little bit and, you know, talk about it, you know, Backlash. And like I said, look, I took what you and Majestic Marie, man, because I have much respect for both of you. I did take that into count. But one thing I will say, and I already said it, I don't know if you was on here, but I did say it and Ray heard it. Hey, man, it went exactly the way it's supposed to have went, you know, as far as the way they promoted it, as far as the little storylines that they had behind it. It went exactly right. It went exactly the way it's supposed to went. And that doesn't happen all the time. So I will say that. But as far as, like I said a little bit earlier, but as far as how the fans have perceived it, how everybody's online been dogging it out and everything, no, it wasn't nowhere near as bad as that. People have been dogging it, kicking it, punching it down. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was decent. It was a decent show. And when the first two matches, I'm like, man, this is a pretty good show. You know, I was loving it. I really was. So, but yeah, let me go and get these comments, and then I'm gonna go over these matches. All right, Ray said out of 10 for Backlash, I'll give it a 7 or 7.25. Okay, Ray. That's good right there. That's good. That means it's pretty good. So, you know, that'd be anywhere from a 3 to 3.5 stars. All right, Zach Minger says, hello, Harry. How are you? Zach, I'm doing pretty good. Zach, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate you coming in, rocking with Straight Up Wrestling Show. Excuse me. My man Mag says, like Fight Club in a brewery. Cool. Yes, we have a lot of places in breweries. My show, Straight Up Wrestling, Straight Up Professional Wrestling, probably is going to be going into a brewery soon, or CMW or PWF. We're probably going to be in a brewery, and I booked for both of them. But you know, I'm gonna be running my own show, Straight Up Wrestling Show, in one of these breweries. All right, Raymond says, I did a show like that once, and there ended up being a huge brawl because of all the drinks. Wow, Ray. That's crazy. Mag says Raymond Underwood and Mag is tripping out. All right, guys, let me get over here to these to these matches, man, over here on Bleacher Report. And like I said, I'm not going to read exactly what they said. I'm going to give you their grade. They do a letter grade, but I am going to give you that, and I will give you my grade, which, hey, we do a 5-star system, and I will give you what I thought about the match. All right, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest. And like I said, look, Jacob Fatu is the star. He is the guy that they are building up in the WWE, and it's going to continue that way because one thing that the reason that they put the title on Jey Uso is Triple H said, and Nick Khan, they said they did a focus group, and they went around the arena and seen all the people that was yeeting, and they decided to put the title on this dude. Outrageous, man. It's outrageous, but it is what it is. All right, so Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight and versus Damian Priest. Jacob Fatu, in my opinion, is a C+ wrestler. C+ wrestler, guys. I'm not going to give him nothing higher than that. He's a little bit over maybe that C+, which is above average. He's getting close to that B average wrestler, but right now he's under a B average wrestler, in my opinion. He's a C+ wrestler. Drew McIntyre, the second name on his list, is an A+ wrestler, guys. He's a top tier wrestler. No ands, ands, and buts about it. He's been a superstar. He's a warrior. But is he ever going to get back to that? I don't know. Not with the current structure and the current leadership that the WWE has. I don't think he's going to make it back there anytime soon. Versus LA Knight. LA Knight, another 3. I'm going to say 3+. I'm going to say 3.5-star wrestler. He's a C+ wrestler. A little bit better than, he's better than Jacob Fatu. He's better than Jacob Fatu, even though I'm ranking Jacob Fatu as a 3+ wrestler, 3.5-star wrestler, a C+ wrestler. I have LA Knight above him, and that's because of experience. Not saying that Jacob Fatu is not going to get better, because Jacob Fatu is going to continue to get better, but LA Knight is a C+ wrestler too. Damian Priest is an A wrestler, an A-list wrestler. Maybe A+. He's a top tier superstar, a great wrestler. Okay, and then we'll talk about the match. All right, my man Fight to Live is in the house. There's Rhea Ripley. Let me see what you got here. Rhea Ripley looked you, WWE wrestling fans, a loser. What you think about that? Oh, I think she called the wrestling fans a loser or something like that. I know she said something. Fight to Live. I understand what you're trying to get at, but yeah, Rhea Ripley called you WWE wrestling fans a loser. What you think about that? Wow, man. Wow. That's very harsh for her to come up and say something like that. People that's paying her salary, they are the reason she is who she is. The WWE wrestling fans is the reason she is who she is, because she's not getting her way. She wants to come out and say something like that. I mean, it's crazy. And most likely they're going to build her up and she's going to win that title again. But for her to say something like that, man, it's just dumb. It's immature. And I just don't know. It's just the generation that she's born in, man. Entitlement. That's not saying anything about anybody, man, that's on the panel, anybody that's listening to this, that if you in her age bracket or whatever, and, you want to, you in her generation, I think she's Gen Z. I'm pretty sure Gen Z. Or she wanted the baby millennials. I'm not exactly sure. But that is an entitlement attitude, and she just expect people to take it. It's kind of like what is that girl, man? Rachel Ziegler come out and talk to people, talking to people that just because they think differently than she was thinking, she telling people don't go and watch a movie. And what happened to a movie? It bombed. You can't just talk to people any kind of way you want to talk to them, or they'll turn on you straight up. Fight to Live, man. But I hope she comes to her senses and say she didn't mean that or whatever. She was just being in character. I hope she does. I really do. But who knows? Man. But yeah, as far as this match go, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest, a pretty good match, guys. I was very impressed with LA Knight, how LA Knight, he started out the match. LA Knight pretty much was controlling this match, guys. He was in there, he was in there putting in the work, dominating. And then you had Damian Priest come, Damian Priest took over, and Damian Priest was doing his thing, man. So big ups to Damian Priest. And like I said, he's an A to A+ wrestler. I think I had him up at A+. He became a top tier wrestler, got better and better when he was with the Judgment Day. But he got to be an incredible wrestler. But then you had Damian Priest, like I say, take over. But then you had a mixture. Drew McIntyre pretty much came in. Jacob Fatu was getting in his shots, but Jacob Fatu took over late and pretty much was dominating that match. But it was a cross between him and Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest was getting his shots in, and LA Knight still was doing his thing. But they was able to pretty much reverse anything that LA Knight did, or they was ready for what LA Knight was doing. So it's kind of like everybody in there got, pretty much got the feel of LA Knight. They understood what he was doing, and they was able to take advantage of that. And we see that, Jacob Fatu, with the help that he looked like he did not want, he definitely didn't want, with the help of Solo Sikoa and what's the new guy? Goodness sake, Joey Cobb, Jeff Cobb. I'm sorry, Jeff Cobb and Solo Sikoa. He ends up retaining the belt. And he was kind of still upset about that. He was looking at him like they was flat out crazy. But I looked for something to go down between them a little bit later on. But, man, I'm going to go ahead and get that match. I gave the match 3.5 stars. It was a very, very good match. 4-way, and I do not like 4-way matches. I don't like 3-way matches. I do not like matches like that. But this one was very good, so I gave it 3.5 stars. All right, my man Fight to Live says Triple H was talking snap too. Yes, he was, saying just watch and close your mind. Yeah. Triple H, he said the real fans are the people that's in the crowd yeet. That's what he says, Fight to Live. That the real fans are in the crowd yeeting. He don't want to hear anything from us, man. He's like, if you have an opinion, you guys have an opinion or whatever, and it's critical, you're not real fans. That's exactly what he's saying. He's saying you're not real fans if you're critical, you have opinions about this, and you're not thinking the way I think, and that this is not the greatest thing in the world. If you don't agree with that, then F you. You need to be in the crowd. You need to be in the crowd yeeting if you're a real fan. You're a true fan. Just agree with everything that we do. Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But that's Triple H. All right, next match, man. I really enjoyed the next match. That was Lyra Valkyrie versus Becky Lynch. But yeah, what's that match, what I just talked about, the 4-way match, Bleacher Report gave it A-. I didn't. They gave it A-. I don't know if my man Mag, I doubt Mag Magnum even gave that A-. I doubt Ray gave it A-. I gave it 3.5 stars, which is a C+ in my book. Maybe a little higher, but C+ in my book. It was a good match. It, in my opinion, it warranted that rating. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Fight to Live, that's why I don't care for WWE. Okay, I understand that, man. I definitely understand that. All right, next match, we had Lyra Valkyrie versus Becky Lynch. This match, I really liked it. It was kind of crazy. Remember on Friday Night SmackDown? Monday Night Raw. This past Monday Night Raw, Becky came out there talking crazy. This was a backlash. She was talking crazy. But this match, she came in and she fought her tail off. She really did. And she tried everything she could to take out the young upstart, the young lion, Lyra Valkyrie. Lyra fought for her life. And they went through a lot of different things, man. Lyra survived like 3 manhandle slams. Big up to Lyra. She just kept coming. And Becky survived a couple of her finishes. They just kept going at it. These two had a fantastic match. I give it 3 stars. Lyra Valkyrie was able to retain, and I have an A-. That's an A- right there from Bleacher Report. And that A- to me is anywhere from 4.5 to 5 stars, guys. There's no flipping way. But yeah, Valkyrie, she got the win. The next match, we had Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. This match, man, it was okay. It was okay. It was all over the place. Dominic Mysterio really shocked me how he started the match off and the things that he's able to do. The man has been improving. Kind of reminds me of his girlfriend, his wrestling girlfriend, Lyra Valkyrie, not Lyra Valkyrie, but Liv Morgan, who has gotten better and better and better. But Dominic was very good in this match, especially early on. And, he pretty much was the lucha in this match, man. But to tell you the truth, hey, Penta did have to hold back because Penta is a lot better than what he actually showed in his match. Penta is outstanding. So he had to hold back a little bit on Dominic Mysterio. But Dominic the fans are very engaged with Dominic Mysterio. So I'm impressed with that. He's very popular. And once again, I'll say that's what's going on. TKO Holdings and Endeavor, along with Triple H. Right now, the narrative is who's the most popular at the time. That's who they're putting the titles on, and that's who they're pushing, guys. Straight up. All right, my man Zach says, what you think about WWE doing 2 PLEs just to counter AEW All In? I think it's garbage, man. I think it's garbage. They trying to, they coming in, they doing it for one reason, just to crush the competition, to step on them, man, because they want to monopolize the business. They don't want AEW in business. They don't want them in business. They don't want competition. They want them crushed completely. I mean, so yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Straight up. It's ridiculous, man. It really is. All right. Zach says, hey, fight to live. Someone skipped me. Someone skipped Zach. Did I skip you, man? Oh, Zach said, excuse me. Someone skipped me. Okay, Zach, I didn't mean to, man. I didn't mean to. Let me go up a little bit. I didn't mean to skip you, brother. You can always come back, man. If I miss something, always come back and let me know. Definitely let me know, Zach. So, but yeah, it's kind of crazy what they're doing, man. Oh my gosh. But yeah, as far as going back to that match, Dominic and Penta, great match. Penta started doing the things that he do, man. Penta was getting his pimp walk, got out there and pretty much doing his pimp walk as far as on the table and everything. So Penta was doing his thing. Penta's very popular, but man, the way they had this match going, and I just don't think Dominic should have been defended against Penta, because right now they are pushing Penta and people are saying, oh, Penta's going to get this singles title. I don't think so. If they put a singles title on him, he's not going to have it long, because I just think their main focus, their main reason for bringing Penta in there is to pretty much get him and his brother together, who else they was able to sign, get him and his brother together and pretty much have a tag team run with Penta and Rey Fenix. But I do have a feeling that, hey, maybe they are looking at putting a singles title on him for a little while, but they going about it the wrong way, because he looked good, but losing to Dominic, who I see as a C wrestler, pretty much getting a little bit above that, he lost to Dominic Mysterio. And it's not good, even though Dominic Mysterio did have interference from the Judgment Day. So I will take some of that back. So Penta, it doesn't make Penta look as bad, because Judgment Day did come out, even though Penta had some help come out too. But Dominic was still able to walk away with that title, guys. And let me see what did I give that one. Let's go ahead and say, okay, Bleacher Report gave it a B+. Let me pull up mine now. And I do have a code on my phone now, which I can't stand, to tell you the truth, because I have to keep going back and forth in there instead of just picking it up and going straight to what I want to go to. All right, so give me just a moment here, guys. But let me go over to, let me get back to where I was at. Okay, wasn't it a third match? I gave that 2.5 stars, guys. 2.5 stars, but a very good matchup between Penta and not Penta and Rey Fenix, but Penta and Dominic Mysterio. 2.5 stars, guys. Fight to Live. Last question. Do you think Booker T is Uncle Tom to WWE? Oh my gosh, man. Oh my God. Wow. That is crazy, Zach. That's crazy. I mean, fight to live. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man. Not in the sense that you have a lot of other people, a lot of other black fans and things, and some wrestlers out here who think like that. Do I think he butters up to WWE? 100%. 100%. But you got to say that about a lot of other former WWE stars too, outside of Booker T, that are not black, that's not black. So you got to say that about a lot of wrestlers, white wrestlers, the same way, that they butter up to WWE too. Now, are they on a bigger platform than Booker T? Are they more famous than Booker T? A lot of them aren't. A lot of them aren't. Booker T is just a big, he's a bigger name. And because in the black factor, that factors in too, because he was a black superstar. So that makes him even bigger, on a bigger scale, even though he's not the biggest name. It's not like he's competing up against a Steve Austin, a Undertaker, or somebody like that. Or say if Shawn Michaels was outside of the business, he's coming up with names that was white guys that was just as big as him. It's not the same thing. But Booker T, if he does anything that looks like it's for the establishment, he's going to be called a Uncle Tom, man. And, that's a term that I really don't like. And have I used it in the past? Yes, I did. But I have to say I was using it in ignorance, to a certain point, because I can't put that on Tom. Maybe we can say some other name or whatever, but not say Uncle Tom, because Uncle Tom, Tom's Uncle Tom. You read Uncle Tom's Cabin, then you would know who Uncle Tom actually was. But Booker T, as far as him brown nosing a little bit, guys, and pretty much being an establishment guy, yes, and it doesn't look bad sometimes because of him as a black man. Excuse me, it sure does. There's a couple instances that I was like, hey, that made me take a back seat, just a couple times. But man, a lot of people, not I'm gonna say a lot of us, and I'm talking about black, white, Asian, Hispanic. A lot of us have that in us. A lot of us do. I mean, you could be around a bunch of black people, you're a white person, and sometimes they brown nose. They do the same thing, man. If you have a lot of famous friends or people that's influential, that are black or whatever, you may get yourself caught up into something like that. Same thing with a Hispanic person who may be around a bunch of white people or a bunch of black people or a bunch of Asian people that have a bunch of influential, that has power positions. They may do something like that make you go, and I mean, it's a sad thing, but it is a thing, man. And yes, Booker T, to a certain point, but I'm not going to put it at 100% that he's like an Uncle Tom type guy, but let's go ahead and use that term. I'm not going to put that on him 100%. I say it's a small percentage, but yeah, there's some parts of him that do act a little, that do have a little bit of that. Let's go and say coonish. I mean, you can say that behavior or whatever. I'm not going to try not to say the word exactly, but yeah, just a little bit. But for the most part, no, he's his own man, straight up. All right, sorry, man. I had to ask. That's okay, Fight to Live. That's okay, man. I don't mind talking about it. I definitely don't mind talking about it. I like Booker T, but yeah, there's a couple times, couple things that he have done in the past that made me pretty much just back up a little bit from him. But man, I can say that about so many different wrestlers, and some of the wrestlers who actually accused him. So some of the people that actually accused him. But so it's kind of funny, straight up. All right, let's see. Let's move on, man. Where was I at? Let's see. What match? I think Dominic Mysterio and Penta. What was the next match? Gunther versus Pat McIntyre, guys. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. Horrible. And this is horrible. Was the match horrible? No. But it didn't do anybody any favors. It didn't do Gunther any favors. And Gunther, at the end of the match, he pretty much gave a big show of respect to Pat McIntyre. But man, this was not good. Gunther held back. Gunther didn't fire off his shots hard as he could. Gunther, I did like the way Gunther pretty much reversed certain things, like Pat McIntyre, when he did the football kick to the back of Gunther. Gunther turned around, did the same thing to him. He pretty much wanted the chops. A couple times he chopped Gunther. Gunther came back and chopped the living daylights out of him, looking at him like, what the heck are you doing? But did Gunther light this guy up and just beat the living daylights out of him like he could have? He could have did at any time. No, he didn't. He let this dude hang in there with him, man. He carried the match, but he carried this guy. It's kind of like Burgess Meredith. Burgess Meredith? Pretty much the guy who played Mick. The guy who played Mickey in the Rocky series. Rocky's manager, Mick. You carried this bomb, man. You're wrestling you're fighting like a bomb or whatever. But let me go and let me rephrase that, because Apollo Creed, they were sending him letters in Rocky 2. They were sending them letters talking about how much did they pay you to carry that bomb? Even though Rocky wasn't a bomb, Rocky was a hard-nosed club fighter. Pat McAfee, do I believe Pat tough in real life? Yes, I do. But in this match, man, you just look at him, look at his presence. He looks soft. And he was soft as far as the way he delivered himself in this match at Gunther. But he fought. He did fight. He did fight tough. He was tough in there. But he should have got smashed, man. He should have got demolished. But either way it go, he was able to hang in there. And it took my man Gunther a while to get this guy out and to tap him out. But I gave the match 2 stars. It just was not. It was not what it was, and to me, it was the worst thing of the night. Was the match awful? No, the match wasn't awful. It's just that now I'm looking at Gunther, because you had the fans talking about you tapped out. The fans was really getting at that. They was really getting into that. Now you have the task of building this old so-called monster back up. That has to be done. Gunther is one of these guys that can make money for the company for years. You use somebody like Gunther for long term, guys. He's a long-term heel. He's a madman. He's a maniac that's gonna bring in the company millions of dollars, on end for a long time. But you made him look like an average. He pretty much looked like a C+ wrestler to me. He really did. He turned into Ludwig Kaiser, man. He did not look like an A+ guy, and to me. And you had Michael Cole in there and Wade Barrett. This is one of the greatest wrestlers ever, guys. One of the greatest wrestlers that ever stepped foot in the ring, in the WWE ring. They made him look like he was sound like he was Killer Khan or somebody. I mean, Killer Kowalski or somebody. That's the way they was making him, like he was Angelo Moscow. That's what they was making him out to be. Like he was Ernie the Cat Ladd. Like he had that kind of aura around him, and he did not. He's had it, but they took it away from him. They stripped him. Matt says Pat versus Gunther was better than I thought it was going to be. Yes, it was better. It was okay. It was okay, Mag, but it was not. It's like taking Big Van Vader at the top of his game. At the top of his game when he was destroying people. destroying people. It was like taking a big Van Vader and taking a guy like a Chick Donovan or taking a Italian Stallion, Denny Brown, George Salt, putting them in there with Big Van Vader. And they are going punch for punch with him. They're not stepping back. They are controlling the pace at certain times. They are getting caught up in the Vader bomb, but the Vader bomb has to come 3 to 5 times before he can hit his patented moonsault to finish the match off. That's what I'm getting at. Gunther had to go all out, man, to win this match. He had to go all out. And then it took him a long time to choke this dude out. What's going on, Chris? I'm online, man. That's what's happening. Yeah, I'm online podcasting. I've been on for 50-something minutes, man. I'm talking about this Backlash thing. I've been talking about Backlash, and I'm about to talk about the thing I was talking to you earlier about, what I was talking to you about what I'll be doing with WWE. But that's what I'm doing. So if you want to go and see what I'm doing, man, come online. Check me out. You driving, boy. Driving to stay alive, boy. Driving. Boy, find you something to eat, man. Find you something to eat. All right, Mag says, of course, Pat looks soft. He's a punter. Yeah, he's a punter. And he looked like one, too, in that match. Like you say, you're right. He did look soft. Yeah, Mag is cracking up. But, man, it was not good. It was not good. Could Pat McAfee be a wrestler full-time and look good and do some great things? Of course he could. I think he could. 100%. But you do not put him in there against a monster that we've been looking at for the past two to 3 years and saying this guy's a monster. He's unstoppable. I mean, this guy right here he's the Angelo Moscow, King Kong Moscow today. He's the Bruiser Brody. He's the, he's the Dr. Death Steve Williams. He's the Terry Gordy. He's Terry Funk. He's this tough, rugged superstar. And we're going to put him in there against a punter. And this punter is going to hang with him chop for chop. This punter going to hit him a couple times with punt kicks. He's going to look good against him. And Gunther going to take 3 minutes to take him out with a chokehold. When Jey Uso took this dude out in 8 seconds. It's crazy. It really is, man. And Chris don't win it hung up. I'm about to call him back. But it's crazy. But I give that match 2 stars, guys. I don't know what in the world you guys thought about it, but I gave it 2 stars. But just because I give it 2 stars don't mean I thought it was trash. I didn't think it was trash. It just was it was a little below average. The average is a 2.5 stars. That's a C plus in my book. 2 stars is a D plus. Sometimes is above a D plus. Sometimes we give 2 stars to a match and the match is great. But that match was not great, guys. All right, man. Let's go on to the main event. John Cena versus Randy Orton, guys. Let me go and see what they say about it. All right, they gave it a B plus, which is a 4.5 stars in our book. Let's see, and it's the notable moments and observations. This is what Bleacher Report had. They said Orton had more color on his trunks than usual. Okay, so they saying he was bleeding and. Cena was lighting him up, man. Hey, I don't know about all that. Cena should come out to the theme he used before his usual song. It would add to the heel side of his character because that was the tune he used when he was a heel all those years ago. Yep, he was a heel. He was a heel, and everybody need to remember that. Said the spot when both men hit their finisher at the same time was a bit of a callback to a tables match they had many years ago. The crowd popped big when Orton started clearing off the table. Yeah, they did. And that's kind of crazy. And to me, that don't make wrestling look good at all, guys. And the crowd was calling out for tables anyway. They was at the beginning of the match. Some of the people in the crowd, not all of them, just a certain amount of people in the crowd. It was loud enough to pretty much reverberate through the crowd. But this match was okay, guys. And let me see. Let me go and just tell you what I thought about it. I gave the match 2.5 stars. Straight up. But I will give. Yeah, I gave that match 2.5 stars. But I give a thumbs up to John Cena at the end. When he got up there and pretty much got up there and started talking to the crowd. I give that a thumbs up. I did like that. But 2.5 stars to the matchup. And thumbs down, man, to R-Truth coming out there and interfering in the match. He cost Randy Orton the match. Thumbs down to that. I usually like R-Truth straight up. But, guys, I'm just like, that's one thing that was unsuspected. But it happened. And that's a way to keep the belt on John Cena. He's going to have it all the way through to the end, guys, in my opinion, until he's about to retire. And then maybe he will lose it. But that moment kind of cracked me up. But I'm just like, those last two matches really killed the pay-per-view for me. So I give the pay-per-view 2.5 stars. It did not finish it off. I give it a C overall. I give it a C. But I'm talking about a low C. C, maybe C to C minus. C minus to a C. That's where I give it. It was the last two matches, guys. That did me in. But overall, it was a decent pay-per-view. It was decent. It was good. I just said good. It was decent to good. Wasn't bad at all. Nothing like everybody was saying it was out here. So, yeah, if you want to know about a pay-per-view or, PLE, premium live event, if it was good or not, go check it out for yourself. Sometimes you can't take everybody's word for it. And I know a lot of people out here have certain podcasters and people they listen to, they take their word for it, and I do too. But when it boils down to it, sometimes you got to go and check it out for yourself. But it was okay. Where can the WWE build from this, man? Where can they build from this? I don't know. But all I can really say is they keep going the way they're going. I see it going down farther. I see them continuing to lose support of the fans and these are their hardcore fans. They have gotten down to their hardcore fans. But I'm going to tell you what I was talking to Christopher Burton a little bit earlier. I said, look, man, if I was the WWE, if I was in charge of WWE or TKO Holdings Endeavor, this is what I would make. This is the suggestion I would make to the top brass in TKO Holdings and Endeavor and in the WWE, to Nate Khan, all the people that's in charge, the people, the shareholders, stockholders, whoever got the most in this thing. This is the suggestion I would make for the WWE to get back to what it used to be, or to get back to what wrestling used to be. Because I can tell you what, all of them want that golden age, that golden age crowd, the golden age population, the golden age consumers of wrestling. And it's a lie if they say they don't. They want those people that stop watching wrestling. They want those people that are casual fans that watch, just watch because there wasn't anything else on, and they wanted a little bit of action. Hey, back in the day, man, when Jim Cornette, like he said, he's right, wrestling, 25 to 28 million people used to watch every single week. Used to watch wrestling. Now they down to 2 to 4 million people watching every week. So that is crazy. We have 360 million people in the country now. That was 230 million people in the country back when there was 27, 28 million people watching wrestling. We only had 230 million people in the country. We have 360 million people in the country now. How in the world can the population increase, but the crowd for wrestling has decreased? And I don't want to hear anything about streaming. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear any noise like that about we have so many other different things that's taken away from that. People are streaming. People are looking at highlights. People are doing all these other different things. I don't want to hear anything about that. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. All right. So let me go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and give you, I'm going to go ahead and read this last comment here that I got. And then I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what I would do. Straight up, man. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this. This listener right here. All right, Tagar Laga Joe Bar. What's going on, man? Tagar Laga Joe Bear says out of topic. Ever since the breakup of Monster Mafia, the North, who has had a better career in your opinion between Ethan Page and WWE and Josh Alexander in the AEW? Josh is in AEW right now. Josh Alexander in AEW. How long he's been in AEW? Haven't been following AEW like that. Last I know, now he was in TNA, but I thought Josh had came over to. I thought, he is in AEW. Yeah, I saw 1 or 2 matches of him in AEW. I have to give it to Ethan Page for his earlier success. As far as in NXT, his earlier success. So I'm going to give it to him. But who I think is better, now, Josh Alexander was outstanding with TNA. Ethan Page, I think Ethan Page has immense talent. But wow, man, you have 2 great acquisitions there. And it'd be great if both companies could capitalize on that. Wow, man, wow. But I'm about to get over there definitely so I can check out Josh Alexander a little bit more in AEW. All right, thanks, Tagar. Appreciate that, man. Yes, he is. For nearly a month, he's a part of the Don Callis family. Yes, that's why I first saw his first and second match. I haven't seen him since then, but the first couple of weeks he was there. I checked that out. But yeah, I had forgot about that, man. I really did. Wow. But Josh outstanding, man. He really is. Ethan's outstanding too, but ever since Ricky Starks came over, Ricky Saints, he's taking a back seat. But, man, hey, we'll see how that turns out. Tagar, glad that you joined me tonight, man. Appreciate you coming in, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling family, guys. But, hey, if you on Facebook, guys, you on Facebook, you on YouTube, you on Twitch, you on over there on X, guys, wherever you checking us out from, guys, go ahead and hit that like button, that share, subscribe button, that notification bell, guys. Let everybody know that Straight Up Wrestling show is rocking, guys. Definitely, man. Help me out here a little bit, man. Go ahead and help a brother out. Hey, give me that HBO special, help a brother out. But go ahead and hit those like buttons, guys. Pretty much bring me up there. But, guys, let me go ahead and talk about what I would do if I was WWE right now. AEW, when AEW first started, I would have loved to see them do it. It would be great if WWE and AEW could work together because they can make this thing a monstrosity, guys. They can make it great. They can make it outstanding. But we know that's not going to happen anytime soon. The WWE, they want to crush AEW. There's no doubt about that. So I don't see that happening. But let me go and tell you what I would do if I was in the WWE. If I had the power to do this, I would pretty much break it up. I will break it up, guys. I will have WWE East, and that would be up in New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts. All those northeastern, all those northeastern wrestling areas, that whole area up there, I'll call that WWE North. I have WWE West over there on the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington State. Let's see, Vegas, all those different areas. I will call that, I would cut that up, have WWE West, WWE East. And then I will have WWE South, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, let's see, Alabama, Louisiana, WWE North. Now, as far as, and I will have WWE Southwest or just WWE West, and you put Texas with them, you have Oklahoma with them, or Oklahoma could be in the South. I don't know. But you can break it up, WWE South, WWE East and West, and you can have WWE North, but you basically, you can put North with the East or whatever. But I will break that up. I probably will break it up to 4 different sections of the country. I would. That's exactly the way I would do it. And I would do it like Fox Sports used to do it. You had Fox Sports South, Fox Sports North West. You have Fox Sports Southwest. I would do it like that. I will break it up. That way, the influx of talent that you have coming in, you can have them working like, a territorial system. And you can have your world champion bounce back and forth through all these territories having to go around to defend the titles. And then you can have the WWE can be a little different, even though I know they done had WWE Europe and all that. You can have WWE Europe. You can have WWE Australia. You can have WWE Africa. You can have WWE. You can have your WWE territories in other countries, but they all part of a certain brand. But everybody comes together for the big pay-per-views. Like you take your best and you put them together for the big pay-per-views. Slow your pay-per-views down, guys. Stop having them once every 3 weeks, once every month or whatever, and have 4 to 5 PLEs a year. You can have that fifth one, have 4 main, and have that fifth one as a, definitely do Backlash. Maybe that'd be your fifth PLE. But you want to do your SmackDown, you want to do your Royal Rumble, you want to do your Raw. I mean, not your Raw, but you want to do your WrestleMania as your big one. But I will cut out so many. I don't even know if I have the money in the bank. Maybe that'll be one of them. But a lot of these things I will cut out, guys, straight up. And I will go to 4 or 5 PLEs a year, and I will make it something special. And everybody will come from these different regions, WWE East, and I will black out. Even though we know we can get it because of the way we are connected today, as far as on the World Wide Web. I know a lot of people don't say that no more, but the way we are connected, pretty much on the internet and everything, we can get anything. And with streaming services, we can get anything. But I will block out things, man. I will block out, like say WWE East. I will block that out and make sure that that's the only place that is pretty much showing. I'll block out WWE South. I'll block out WWE West, and I will make sure, and I will come back with a WWE. With their magazine or WWE Weekly, like use their Saturday night main event, or you the Saturday. No, I'll come back. I'll take that back. I will have Saturday mornings. I will bring back Saturday mornings. Superstars or whatever you want to call it. I will have wrestling on Saturday mornings again, and I will show, and that will show film, and that will have have live wrestling too, but it show film about what's happening across the country. That's exactly what I would do. I would have it on Saturday nights, maybe Saturday mornings and Saturday nights, and maybe Sunday morning. But that's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do with it. And that way you could pretty much gobble up a lot of people as far as the best on the indie scenes and everything. AEW can get in on that too. Now they can, me personally, I would wish they would work with AEW in that. Have AEW do something similar, but work together with them. And I know it's a dream, but that's something I think that will work. I would love to see something like that, man. And I think wrestling, instead of dreaming about that 25 to 27, 28 million people that used to watch wrestling, back in the 80s and the early 90s, 70s too had 20-some million people. Instead of dreaming about those people coming back and being part of the wrestling landscape, guys, I think that will slowly come back if you did something like that. But you have to put certain bookers, you have to have management to go into each territory, know what they're doing, and have the right people in place to come up with booking and great storylines. Hey, people out there that can do it. You just got to step forward and do it. But guys, that's it for tonight. Appreciate everybody coming in. And before you leave out, definitely go ahead and rock that, man. Go ahead and rock that notification bell, guys. I didn't plan on staying on this long, but I appreciate everybody coming in. My man Tagar coming in a little bit late. Magnum coming in. Fight to Live coming in. My man Zach Minger coming in. And my man Ray Underwood coming in. And my boy Christopher Burton did give me a call. But guys, I appreciate each and every one of you coming in, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Hey, guys, I can't thank you enough, but talk to each and every one of you later. Stay straight up. Peace.